One of the new features in Centrix is the open inlet option, which is new for single width fans in particular. So normally when we get to the arrangement screen, we will see ducted inlet checked. So we might want to use an open inlet fan. So let's do that. This particular fan design has an inlet cone spinning, and what we can do is we can manipulate this area here to suit different types of inlet cones and the way they're fastened to the casing. So let's just have a look at this. At the moment this is unchecked to let Centrix change the cone length and fixing method, so we'll leave that unchecked and we'll say apply new here, and we'll say next and next, and let's just have a look at the inlet assembly. So this particular fan has a spinning for the inlet cone which needs to be fastened in the correct location, so it has this offset inlet flange so that the inlet cone and impeller are in the correct location. So that looks okay. So it's an open inlet fan but with this extended section, which means that for an overhung impeller that's going to be fine, but if the impeller was between bearings, then this might cause a bit of a problem as regards fixing the bearing to the side of the casing. So I'll close that. I'll go to the arrangement number and handing again, and let's see what difference this makes, if any, because we're still using a spinning. So let's say apply new, we'll say yes, we'll say next, next, and have a look at the inlet assembly again. Okay, so what we can see is that the spinning obviously didn't have a full flange, so Centrix has maintained the length of the spinning, but of course now it's in the wrong position relative to the impeller. So let's close that and see what we can do about that. So let's go back to our arrangement number and handing, and we can maybe change the spinning by going back to the casing material selection, unchecking the spinning option. We'll apply that, say next. Now we can see that the cone is fabricated. So let's say next, next, and have a look at the inlet assembly. And now we can see that the length of the cone has been adjusted automatically by Centrix, and it's in the correct position to get flow around into the impeller. So let's just have a look at that again. So let's have a look what else we can see here. We can look at dimensions. So we can see that the single width cone length in the database is 300 millimeters, and Centrix has changed the cone length to 200 there. We can also change some other dimensions here if we want to play around with these sorts of things, but normally you wouldn't need to, but it's there if you do. For example, we can close that. We could go to back to the spinning. Okay, I'll click that. So we're spinning. Let's just go next and next and draw the inlet assembly. Okay, so now we can see that the spinning's in the wrong place again, as it was before. So let's now look at these dimensions again, and let's position the cone at the impeller setting. So let's, and we can actually look at that here. We'll say apply and draw here. So now we can see that the cone length's been maintained, and it's in the correct position, but now we would have to do something in this area here. And this is where we can say, okay, well, let's leave it. Next, next. So now we're back to the original method of fixing the inlet cone.